Because in the dorm room, if you wanted a snack, you had to walk your ass across campus to the C-store. So I just
Yep.
didn't snack.
Mhm.
And then when I got home, there was just food, and it was in the kitchen, and I could eat it. Like, hey, can I have this? Yeah, you can have whatever. Really? Yeah. Oh my god! And so that's where I attained the shape that I have now, and I've just kept it. And it weirds me out. Like when I was working in 1,000-degree heat and moving heavy boxes all day, I looked like this. And now that I sit on my ass all day, right here in this chair, I look like this. And like, it doesn't it doesn't change. It weirds me out. Like I walk every day unless it's too hot. Now just because of boredom. Like
Uh-huh.
I only made 2 laps today because it started to rain while I was walking, and I went, I'm done. But usually I make 3 laps around the complex, sometimes 4 if it's extra nice. And that's more physical exercise than I've been getting in the like year or so before that, and it doesn't make a difference. Nothing changes. It's really bizarre.
For a while there, over the summer, well, not okay. This whole thing since March has actually felt like summer because things are weird. But I was actually getting biceps while I was working on that fence. I mentioned it a couple times, but that was some really hard work. And by the end of that, I was actually feeling kind of buff. And it's been done for over a month now. And I've still got, I mean, I'm still doing some work on the sides, but I'm not digging any more fence posts. That's the big thing. And I've still kind of got some, but I'm not feeling like, yeah, I'm on my way to actually being physically fit anymore. That's gone.
Lord. All right. Well, that gives us plenty of time to make sure that OBS started recording. So let's do this. Ow, jam! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mana Pool. This is episode 594. Really? Of the Mana Pool, and we're old and fat, I guess, is what we were talking about before the show started.
Is this a mortality thing? Like we are old and approaching death.
I mean,
Nah,
we've
it's an
been old
entropy
and
thing.
yeah, we've been old and approaching death since we were born. It's fine.
That's true.
So, why? Yes, I love Sylvia Plath. Why do you ask? So, hello, I'm Chewy. I am the lead dork, and if I was an article of clothing, it turns out I would be a Skyrim cloth face mask
Huh.
because I saw one tweeted about on Twitter, and then Christine Sprankle tweeted, "You damn right, I bought a Skyrim face mask," and I went, "Where?" And then she sent me a link, and then I bought me one. So, so thanks, Spranks. Not that she listens to this, but still, I appreciate it. That should be here sometime in the next, I don't know, month.
Did you know when you type that in, that is the second result? When you type in Skyrim into Google.
Are you serious? Skyrim. Well, of course, Skyrim face mask is gonna autocomplete on mine because I actually Googled it right before she sent the link. But
Checking it.
Let me see.
Feeling like I'm on Gather, and I'm like,
it's
oh,
the one on Redbubble that it's listed as heavy armor, which is the only part I didn't agree with. But you know, whatever.
okay, yeah.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, I saw it.
It's Skyrim, The Elder Scrolls
Tom
5,
posted
and then
on Facebook.
the second one is Skyrim Face Mask, and the third one is Skyrim Mods.
Nice.
Hey, I'm Brian. I'm the lead rambler, tangent master of the group. And if I was an article of clothing, I thought about this while Stu was talking. And let's face it, I'm pretty darn vanilla. I think I would be a sweater, but I would not be one of those sweaters that you get that's really itchy because I hate those. When I was a kid, I had a sweater that I hated, and thus I thought every sweater was a horrible torture device for a kid. And then later, Carrie bought me sweaters. I'm like, wait, these are comfortable. She's like, yeah, they're sweaters. She loves sweaters. So if I would be a not itchy sweater.
I'm Mike. I'm the rules guy and the game lore guy. And if I were an article of clothing, I would be a black T-shirt with a design printed on it.
So,
That's like 80, easily like 70 to 80% of
Your wardrobe.
my T-shirt drawer.
He's not wrong.
And I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group. And if I was an article of clothing, it would be cargo pants. It could be cargo shorts. It could be cargo long pants. But it would definitely be cargo pants.
Because you have a lot of crap to carry around in your pockets.
Exactly. The one thing that drives me nuts, absolutely bonkers, is having my wallet in my back pocket.
I couldn't do that. I would probably be like, "Where's my wallet?" all the time.
Well, I mean, I have or had dress pants that have a hole worn in that the back right pocket, because that's where I would have my wallet. A hole worn into two of my old work pants, like my dress pants.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't at this point. I just can't do it because it makes me sit lopsided.
Yeah, as Wolfie just pointed out in the chat, it's horrible for your spine. I stopped putting my wallet in my back pocket after I started having back problems more frequently than, once and forever. And they cleared up relatively quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, that just wouldn't feel right. I guess I've just been doing it in the front pocket forever. So I just don't put anything back in there at all, period.
Yeah. When I started this job and I started wearing a nice jacket to work, putting the wallet in the jacket pocket, oh man, that's so much more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do avoid putting the wallet in my back pocket whenever it's possible.
I will put my phone in my jacket pocket because it sticks out less. I feel like if I have my phone in with my wallet in my pocket, it bulges out more, especially because I wear a suit to work and I don't want to look at my hips and it's like weird, like lopsided hips. So I've put my phone in my jacket pocket. So Wolfie also says it makes it harder for pickpockets. And yeah, I mean, it's not something that I'm constantly worried about, but I think I would definitely, a good pickpocket will definitely get it if they are really determined, but I think it'd be a lot easier for me to notice. Of course, my wallet's also pretty thick. Some people have like really thin wallets. I keep mine pretty darn full. Does not mean I'm loaded in case anybody's asking. Like, oh, look at my giant wallet. I just keep pictures and stuff in there. So if I were to take my wallet out, I'd probably lose like 5 pounds. So,
He
magic.
keeps Monopoly money in there.
So that's it for WalletCast.
Join us next week.
Lord have mercy. So, first off, before we get into Magic, I would just like to reiterate a point from previous weeks. Black Lives Matter. Trans rights are human rights. Racism is bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now that the people who that offends have left, let's get to the good stuff. Right. Well, okay, maybe not the good stuff. We're just talking about yet another new product. So,
The stuff.
also, for those of you watching the video version of this, you might notice the background is now the glorious, the beautiful, the amazing Mr. Truffle Snout.
I must say, I would rather have a truffle snout for a pet than a Godzilla. Everybody's all like, "Oh, Godzilla would be awesome." No, I mean,
No, Godzilla would burn down your house.
School would be a nightmare.
Not to mention, just like before you even get to his destructive tendencies and whatnot, they don't make a pooper scooper that big.
They don't.
Buh.
They don't make a yard that big.
Yes. You are correct.
I mean, they do, but only the 1% have those.
Well, if you live out on the Great Plains, you have a yard that big.
Purple Mountain's Majesty turns out Wasn't there 5 days ago.
Oh, oh.
You're welcome. So, magic.
Right. So yeah, Neverending Preview Season is back in full swing because so the last 2 episodes we've done Core Set 2021, but because this is the year 2020 and Wizards of the Coast can't release one thing at a time anymore because then they will suck less money out of people. Now they've released, or they are releasing, a product called Jumpstart at the same time.
Is it being released at the same time or is it being released later?
I don't think it matters.
Okay. Well, I mean, in this day and age when no one is actually getting their product right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
But also it's like they're being previewed at the same times, and I think they were supposed to be released at the same time, I think. Or at least close to it.
I think.
So I want to say, yes, I know it's a bit of fatigue right after M21, and it feels like it's still, to a large extent, right after
Ikoria.
Ikoria, because the pre-release being pushed back, I feel like we just did it because Sam and I did it in mid-May, and now it's mid-June. Side note, Sam the other day was looking at our pre-release cards, and she's like, why is this one stamped with an April date? I'm like, because when it went to the printers, that was gonna be the pre-release. She's like, oh yeah, COVID. And she looked at me and she just had this expression on her face that for a 9-year-old said so much about her understanding of the world. And yet 2020, am I right? So, but anyway, I gotta say, while it does feel a bit fatiguing, Jumpstart is a concept that I could actually really get behind.
Yeah, like, so what Jumpstart is, because I was asked on Twitter, are you going to explain what it is? I'm like, it's not hard, but sure. So Jumpstart is a product that is like a small scale sealed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There are themed boosters, but I don't think you know what the themes are until you open it. Is that right? Or does it say on the booster somewhere?
I thought you weren't supposed to, and maybe that's my random, like, oh, you shouldn't, but you shouldn't know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But the way I read it is I think that you don't know. There was an article that kind of laid this out.
Man, Brian just took 2 whole minutes to say, I don't know, maybe.
I did.
Jesus Christ.
Me, man.
So what it is, they're big boosters, and you take 2 of them and you shuffle them together, and that's your deck.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jay Spencer said the outer packaging is the same for all. When you open that, there's an inner packaging that has the theme he thinks. Okay.
That's what I remember reading, but that was a while ago.
And it includes basic land. So you're not adding any, you're literally taking these 2, shuffle them together. That's your deck.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, okay, hang on. Let me jump to the screen here. So they have released the lists for what's in every single themed booster. And this webpage, I'm just going to scroll relatively quickly. This goes forever.
Because every booster has a theme, right? Like cats. But correct me if I'm wrong, there's 4 different versions of every theme.
No. Not of every theme.
There's 4 of many of them. There's 2 versions of some of them. There's only 1 version of the Planeswalker theme boosters.
Well, also, like walls.
And I think a couple other things.
Yeah, there's only 1 walls.
Okay.
So raise your hand if you haven't looked at all the material. See,
I haven't looked at any of this because this literally does not appeal to me at all because I can't see my friends. So... Well, I mean, I can see my friends, but I'm not gonna see my friends.
Well, let's put it this way: there are multiple versions of most of the decks. Is that a fair statement?
Oh yeah,
If you have to express some sort of absolute, then sure, why not?
Just to point out how varied these decks are. So even if you're like, oh, I got a existential deck, well, there's like 12 existential decks. So
here we go. I've got the video now just scrolling at a brisk clip. So you guys can see just how many of these there are. But the point is, the themed boosters, the ones that have variants, they don't have like huge variants. It's not like okay, hang on, let's stop and look at dinosaurs. How many? Okay, there are 4. No, let's find one that's only got 2. Discarding. Like, discarding has 8 creatures. Discarding 2 has 10 creatures. But a bunch of them are in fact, they're all the same, except the one that has 10 has Liliana's Reaver and Nixithid, and the other one doesn't. So, like, oh, and it has 7 lands. I think most of these have like 7 or 8 lands, depending on the deck, right?
right,
Something like that.
Mhm.
But
it's essentially sealed. So
yeah, so the idea is you get 2 at random, you shuffle them together, there's your deck, and you play against other people who are doing the same thing.
right. I like the thought of the weird naming convention, because if you think about the names, yeah, some of these themes are like, very descriptive, like discarding, um, and then others are a little more out there, but it's kind of a fun little thing to put together. Like, let's say there's a devilish deck. There's more than one, but there's a devilish, and there's a cats. So you might have devilish cats, which for anyone that's a cat owner is like, yeah,
And
as opposed to like, you know, cat dinosaurs. You can tell I'm still in the D's, but I'm cat doctors. There you go. Ha 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 ha.
How about reanimated cats?
Ooh, there you go. So I like the silliness there with some of the naming conventions.
I feel like the unset where they had the
The contraptions,
yeah,
yeah, a little bit. So
just
so
with decks.
so because I love one of the things that appeals to me about Magic is the fact that it can be different every time. I know for a lot of people it's, hey, when I make a deck, I want to perform in a certain way. I get that. How I play, I want every game to be its own little encapsulated universe, because then you get the stories of like, oh man, this crazy thing that will never happen again happens. So,
I think that's why we jumped to EDH so quickly once we learned about it.
yeah,
Because most of us, I think, feel that way just in general.
yeah. I just want to acknowledge that, of course, different people have different goals with the game. But yeah, I think we're all kind of on the same page about that. So it's also why, even when I was doing 60 card decks, I would build a deck, usually more than one at a time, play it until it got where I wanted it to be, and then take it apart. Whereas other people might be like, that's when you keep it. I'm like, nah, I'm done with it. So I really like this thought of the decks on the fly. So, but we have brand new cards to go along with these. Lots of reprints, but some brand new cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what Jumpstart is. It comes in boxes of, I think it's 24 boosters, I want to say. I know they're not normal 36 booster things, because these boosters are, well, 20 cards.
Right.
But some of those are lands, so,
Yeah.
Let's see here. And Stark just said, yes, and you can get dupes, so a box does not guarantee one of each pack. Which I think there are way more than 24.
Yeah.
I'm not counting the damn things. I don't care that much. But they said when they first announced it, some giant number of different packs you could get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's really just marketing speak.
I too am not taking the time to count these, but I gotta say, look, Wizards, some of the stuff we've heard lately, some of the stuff we know lately, not that encouraging. From a card design standpoint, think about the time and resources it had to take to design this many decks, keeping in mind that no, they're not going to test every single combination. That's impossible. But when you're also including new cards, that's a lot. I mean, this isn't my point is this is not a small task. So props to them for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And a
how
bunch of these cards are from M21, it looks like, at least in these first couple of decks.
which, given the fact that they're releasing it around the same time, much like the Commander decks that came out close to the last set, not a big surprise.
Of course, then I get to Angels, and none of these are from M21. So,
Well, might be the exception that proves the rule.
So maybe not most of them, but a bunch of these cards are from Core Set 2021.
A noticeable quantity.
Yeah.
So, how do you want to approach this? We're obviously not going to go over every deck because that would be insane.
Oh God, no. We're going to jump over to the card image gallery and tell you about the new cards.
Sounds great. Do you want to just hit in order of rarity, or should we just take?
No, let's just start at the top and work our way down. Why not?
Sounds great.
Do what?
Do what?
Start at the top and work our way down.
Yes. So, for example, the very first card we might talk about.
I think it was 80.
What? Dirk, you're not muted.
Sorry.
The very first card we might talk about would be Blessed Sanctuary. Side note, I haven't really read almost any of these, so bear with me here. Blessed Sanctuary for 3 and 2 white. It's a rare enchantment. Prevent all non-combat damage that will be dealt to you and creatures you control. Wow, so that just shuts down direct damage. If it's not combat damage, that's crazy. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white unicorn creature token. I'm going to guess that this is in unicorn decks, but quite frankly, this just feels like an awesome card. Yes, it's not going to... it's kind of tailored to shut down certain things like the color red, but I don't know. There's 2 separate halves here, so you can always play it for the second half, and then it will hopefully give you an advantage when the first half is relevant. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
All your creatures come with a free unicorn and no burn for you. Yeah, seems good.
Yeah. And, well, that's if you're in the context of taking these cards and applying them to EDH and other things, note that this doesn't say non-combat damage that you don't control. So if you're playing this in a white-red deck, like there's that giant from Ravnica that deals damage to everything. Mike knows what I'm talking about. You can do this in a white deck and be like, blow up the world. Star of Extinction, this kind of laughs at Star of Extinction. So, haha.
That's a good point. You could be the one earthquaking everything except for your unicorns.
There you go. I have good ideas every now and then. Every now and then. That is my good idea for the day. So what's next?
Next up is Brightmare for 2 and a white. Is a 2/3 unicorn. It says when it enters the battlefield, tap up to 1 target creature. You gain life equal to that creature's power.
Wow.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a super powerful card, but again, in the context of limited, it's great because life matters and it's a tap effect. So it might just be like, hey, there's your only blocker. I'm coming through. In another format where people play lots of big stuff, could be pretty significant. And it's an enters the battlefield effect. So anything that cares about that and or can repeat that seems pretty good. Jumpstart is not standard legal, correct?
Correct.
All right. So no.
Oh, that's confusing.
No silly business with Thassa blinking this out every turn.
At least I assume it's not, because that would be ridiculous.
I feel like that's kind of the obvious answer. I just wanted to make sure.
What? We might need to check on that. That seems
strange. I mean, why would Jumpstart be standard legal?
Because stuff like Deck Builder's Toolkit is legal.
Deck Builder's Toolkit is just reprints, right?
There are a couple cards that only appear in the deck builders
Not be
toolkit.
standard, pioneer, or modern legal cards. They are legal in Legacy.
Okay. Oh, so they're not even. Oh no, I guess they wouldn't be legal in Modern either because that's what Modern is. Right. Okay.
Okay, it introduces 37 new cards to the game. These will not be standard, pioneer, or modern legal cards. They are legal in Legacy, Vintage, and Commander. Not even Brawl.
And when they hit Arena, I guess they'll be legal in Historic because they will.
Yeah.
Except for the ones that they're not taking to Historic. There's a whole list. We don't know why.
My guess
Probably
is
for power level. For most
Ba-
of them, there are a couple that's like, what? But whatever.
I saw it, but I haven't read it yet.
Well, I
Fitting.
mean, all it is a list of cards. There's no explanation of anything. They're like, these are cards that won't be coming to Arena. We'll replace them with something else. Crickets. Crickets. Oh well. Next.
All right, MEL the Blessed is a legendary unicorn.
Ooh.
Yeah, for 2 white, it's a 4/4. Has an activated ability, pay 3. Exile another target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. There's your little blinky effect that Brian was
Targeted repeatable blink.
hmm
Okay.
And whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay green-white hybrid, meaning either green or white. And if you do, put a +1/+1 counter on it. If it's a unicorn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it instead.
So
Okay,
the
so
Bright Mirror would be a fun one.
So
Yeah.
that second ability is pretty cool. I like how the two abilities actually balance each other out a little bit, because if you're constantly blinking out something over and over again, the counters on it aren't going to matter a whole lot because they're not staying on it, you know?
Mhm.
So it's not really to your advantage to keep doing that. Whereas if you're doing it every now and then, like, oh, you're targeting my thing, I'm going to blink it out, and hey, when it comes back, I'll make it a little bigger. That's pretty cool. And the
It's
fact
target creature you control.
hmm
yes, you can't be blinking out somebody else's stuff.
Mhm.
That would be mean. Yes, I'll just blink out your Hydra with all those counters on it. Oops.
4
I get-
mana to blink something that's got a good effect and make it bigger when it shows back up is a little pricey, but probably still fine.
It is
Yeah,
literally
for
right.
repeatability. Like
It is.
Otherworldly Journey just costs 2, but you have to spend the card doing it.
It is literally right next to Brightmare, and that seems like a pretty good target.
hmm
hmm
Yeah, it seems okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, the next one is Release the Dogs.
Can't say release the hounds. I
Mm.
mean, we could, but
So for 3 and a white, it's a uncommon sorcery. Create 4 1/1 white dog creature tokens.
Nice and simple.
they charge into battle and out for their morning walk with the same exuberance.
Arf. Plus, I like the way you've got like 3 big, mean attack dogs and then a little yippy dog there with them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's
Like-
gonna
looks like a
try
little-
his hardest.
Has like a almost like a what's a little sash thing.
He's one of the new cadets, I guess.
And you know the little one's probably the meanest. I mean, we've all met the little dog who's an asshole, and then the big dog who thinks he's a little dog. You know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Big dogs don't know they're big, and small dogs don't know they're small.
Yep.
Accurate.
100%.
Oh my
correct.
god, I delivered some food to a house yesterday, and
my
there
God.
was a little Shih Tzu
Oh.
barking its ass off like it wanted to come out and destroy me. And I'm just laughing at it at the door, just like and the woman came out and she's like, "Oh yeah, he's vicious, isn't he?"
Dog's like, come in here and say that.
You talking to me? I'm like, oh. Anyway. So next, was
Yep.
that me? That's me. Is that
Well,
Brian?
it's me, but
Whoever it is.
do
Doesn't
you
matter.
want it? I mean, we're not rigid here.
No, I just can't remember.
I took the first one, so I will take this one, the steel plumed marshal, for 3 and 2 white, is a 3/3 bird soldier. It's a rare technically, and it has flying, which is good because it's a bird and not a penguin. Whenever it attacks, other attacking creatures you control with flying get +2/+2 until end of turn. Wow. +2/+2 is not insignificant. It's more than +1/+1. And I know that sounds silly, but like Overrun is +3/+3, and that feels like a curb stomping every time. In theory, everything that's attacking that's getting this bonus already has built-in evasion because it's flying. So
Mhm.
Man. I
Yeah.
actually want to get one of these in case I ever do turn the old classic bird deck into a commander deck. I want to get one of these for it because that's ridiculous.
Seems like it'd be pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so next up is the Stonehaven Pilgrim. For 1 and a white, it's a 2/2 core cleric. Whenever it attacks, if you control an artifact or enchantment, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn and gains lifelink until end of turn. So it becomes a 3/3 with lifelink. Da-da-da.
I like
For
stuff
two-
like this.
For 2 mana. Yeah.
Especially since equipment are artifacts.
They
They are.
are! Oh my god, auras are enchantments.
What?
Yep, you could Voltron this baby up. Yeah, I mean a conditional 3/3 with lifelink during your turn, for 2 mana seems fine to me. Absolutely good.
Mhm.
And then the fact that you're probably pumping it at the same time seems even better.
Speaking of pumping up your team,
Just real
Huh.
last thing with this.
Okay.
Turn 2 Stonehaven Pilgrim. Turn 3 Glorious Anthem, because that's an enchantment.
yes.
Okay, I'm
Of
done.
all the things you could have picked. Sure, okay.
Well, because he's getting even more pumped. That's what, a 4/4 with lifelink now?
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
You're so cute. Next.
Okay, so speaking of pumping up your team, finally, the Supply Runners for 4 and a white is a 2/2 dog. And when Supply Runners enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control.
That's nice.
Once again, another good enters the battlefield effect.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, look at those floppy tongues. Aww.
Good dogs stay by your side until the end. Great dogs leave to bring back aid. I have a mental picture of, like, you know, the guy's fallen down, and he turns to his dog, and the dog is like, "I will be with you forever," and the owner is like, "Get out of here! Bring somebody back, you fool! What are you waiting around for?"
Well, maybe the dog it brings back is the Trusted Retriever.
Woof.
So for 3 and a white, it is a common dog. That's a 2/3. And says, whenever Trusted Retriever enters the battlefield, choose one. Put a +1/+1 counter on Trusted Retriever. Return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. So if you're running an artifact/enchantment heavy deck and it keeps getting blown up, this would be a great dog to blink out and bring right back. And it says, wipe away the slobber, and it's as good as new. Give or take a few bite marks.
He's a good boy. He's like, hey, human, hey, I brought you your sword back. Did you want your sword back? Hey, because you threw it at that guy, and then I pulled it out of him. It was stuck pretty good, too, and here it is again. Hi.
It turns out most swords are not, in fact, boomerangs.
That's true. And I know in the art it's still in the scabbard. Shut up. Just ignore that. I'm not talking about this instance of it.
I mean, clearly the art contradicts the flavor text just a little bit. Unless he's biting through the scabbard, because that's kind of crazy.
Woof. Okay, so that's the new white cards. It's got some dogs, some unicorns, and a bird, and a core.
Yep.
Seems good.
All right. Then we are on to the next color. There's a lot of reprints here, so I had to scroll down a bit. To blue. And that is going to start with Archaeo Mender, not Archaeomancer. That's something entirely different. Archaeo Mender for 2 and a blue is a 2/3 human wizard. When it enters the battlefield, return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Simple, straightforward, but really potentially powerful effect. I see
not bad.
See nothing wrong with this.
Okay.
I feel like this doesn't show up at 3 mana hardly ever, if at all, to get a creature and an artifact back. So that's good stuff.
No hoops to run through, no converted mana cost requirements.
Mm.
So it doesn't do anything silly like Shroom and just throw it right onto the battlefield, which is probably for the best. Chewy is literally the only person I know that has a fair Shroom deck.
Yeah. I don't even know if there's an accidental infinite combo in there anywhere. I don't think so.
There's a couple accidental infinite combos in my Esper Artifact Commander deck.
Mike, you're fired.
Yeah.
So next up we have God, this guy's name. Bruvac the Grandiloquent.
What the heck? See, I haven't made it to the blue, so that's
good old Bruvac.
Is he an Azorius Law Mage? He has to be.
Looks
with that
like
name.
it.
He looks like it. Plus his flavor text is, and furthermore, with an ellipsis on both sides.
Yeah.
But for 2 and a blue, he's a legendary human advisor who's a 1/4. And his text is, if an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill twice that many cards instead. Ooh.
Good thing he's legendary.
Man.
He literally filibusters you so hard. You're just like, just take more cards, man. I don't even care anymore. He's like, are you sure? He's like, yes. Are you done talking? Well, no.
Yeah, I think it's because he's actually been talking for so long that your eyes have rolled back into your head and things that from your childhood are now falling out of it.
This guy plus traumatize sounds terrifying.
Yeah, sounds like you win.
Well, I think you're going to end up getting rid of 3/4 of their deck, not the whole. Well,
No, not with the way this works.
No, the way it's worded, no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it doesn't say do it again. It says...
That's right.
Yeah.
So I guess if you have an odd number of cards in your deck, you might have 1 left?
Yeah, I think Traumatize rounds down.
Yeah. Woo! Oh, darn. I couldn't get rid of everything you've got. You have another turn. My bad.
But, like, that is, that's an acceleration for mill, the likes of which I've never seen or heard of before. Like, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this guy says Glimpse the Unspeakable mills 20.
For 2 mana. Well, for 5 mana.
And
Wow,
then,
that's still really good.
how many cards does Archive Trap mill?
Is it 13?
7?
7? Is it 48?
13 sounds more correct. Let's check.
Is it $1?
Gatherer.
I like how you guys both gave very different.
I bid $1.
It's 13.
It's
Okay.
13. So 26.
Hey, Brian did math! Yay!
You're lucky it was right this time. Oh, I'm serious. I married a CPA, so I wouldn't have to get close to the numbers. I mean, for other reasons too, but that was definitely a plus. There's a running joke in law school, man, and it says, and I quote, and I heard this from at least 3 professors: "You're not here for your math skills." And we're like, yeah, yes, we understood the first couple times we heard it. So, what's next?
That would be the Corsair Captain. For 2 and a blue, a 2/2 human pirate. When the captain enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. It's always nice. And other pirates you control get +1/+1. It's a nice little affordable pirate lord. You even get a treasure.
I am trying to figure out what is going on with her. Oh, that's a man. I thought that was a female at first. I was trying to figure out what was going on with her outfit. And then I realized, oh, no, never mind. Okay.
Yes, it's not a lady in a weird shirt. It's a shirtless man.
Yes. All right. Even better.
I was trying to figure out what was up with the arm, and then I realized it was resting on a sword. So I'm glad that I'm not the only one who the art threw for a loop.
Oh, I wasn't able to figure that out until you said it. Okay, I see it now.
Ha ha! See?
Let us all be confused together, gentlemen.
We're good for that.
We are.
All right, Dirk.
Well, the next one is Ineos, the Gale Force.
That's a cool name. Well, that's a cool... What's the thing that comes after a name? Epithet? Is that what you call that?
Isn't it an epithet what you put on your tombstone?
No, that's pepperoni.
Epitaph.
God, I said it, and I was like, somebody better not.
Seriously though, what is it? The Chewy, the something.
Appellation?
Appellation? No,
That's
those
a
are mountains. Okay, I'm sorry, Dirk. What's the card do? I took Brian's job and tangented this.
Mm-hmm.
Well done, sir. I'm so proud.
You get the official. Mm-hmm. So, for 3 and 2 blue, it's a 4/4 legendary creature Jin that is rare and has flying. It has activated ability for 2 and a hybrid of white-blue. Attacking creatures with flying get +1/+1 until end of turn.
Ooh.
It also says whenever 3 or more creatures you control with flying attack, each creature gains control of a non-land permanent of your choice controlled by the player to your right.
My head. Okay, so
Okay, wait, hang on.
Right the first time.
Whenever 3 or more creatures you control with flying... Okay. Each player gains control of a non-land permanent of your choice controlled by the player to their right. Oh, so everyone looks to the right and you're getting something from them, but I get to pick.
you get to pick, yeah, and which means you yourself are giving something up, but you're picking.
Yeah.
So, here, get this food token.
Have a treasure token.
Don't spend it all in one place. I'll take your Pentavis.
I think that's a kind of a cool way of saying, okay, so-and-so has way too many big creatures. Hey, you're going to get about half of them.
Well, you can't. I mean,
Well,
you only
they
take
get...
one thing at a time.
Whoa.
Well, then I guess that just means I'll have to attack for 5 turns in a row.
Oh, God. Mike's going to put this in his relentless assault deck, isn't he?
That would be weird.
I like how the first ability is activated and the second one is just triggered. It's just like, yeah, you don't have to pay anything else. So this is an interesting flavor thing in that it's a Jin. So, okay, he's granting wishes, but he's being very selective about the wishes he's granting. And he's also hitting somebody in the face for 4. So
Seems good.
Yeah. I like it. It's very Johnny. Next up, Ormos, Archive Keeper. That's still a cool name. For 4 and 2 blue, it is a 5/5 legendary Sphinx with flying, of course. If you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, instead put 5+1/+1 counters on Ormos Archive Keeper. Okay, so this guy is kind of like a laboratory maniac, but instead of saying you win, it just says you don't lose because it's replaced, and he becomes bigger. 1, a blue, and discard 3 cards with different names. Draw 5 cards. Whoa.
I like that.
So, seems
Huh.
good in sealed because you're going to have less cards to, draw until you're out and they can't win by milling you. But in EDH, this says pay 3 and discard 3 cards, only one of which can be a basic land. Well, I'm shorthanding it, but basically all of your non-land cards already have all of your non-land cards already all have different names anyway. So yes, I'll take discarding 3 to draw 5, please.
Yeah, seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a Sphinx, so I know it'll make JT happy, which is really all you want with a Sphinx.
I like this one. I might have to try to get this one and build an EDH deck around it, because that could be cool. Throw some Laboratory Maniac in there, have a good time. Next.
All right.
Next up is Scholar of the Lost Trove. It's not you, Mike. It's me.
Dang it.
It's not that hard. It's like knowing which order we go play turns in. Not that we ever get together anymore, but
So, Scholar of the Lost Trove for 5 blue is a 5/5 flying Sphinx. When it enters the battlefield, you may cast target instant, sorcery, or artifact card from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. Ooh. If an instant or sorcery spell cast this way would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. So you can't shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's an artifact with a sacrifice effect,
yeah, go for it.
Yeah. And yes, you're getting to circumvent the mana cost of something, but you have to get a 7-drop creature onto the battlefield first. So
yeah.
it's not trivial.
No, it's not. And I mean, yeah, he's a 5/5, so that's good too. But it's not insignificant. If this cost like 3, then we'd have a problem.
Yes.
Really, I love the flavor of, yes, instant and sorcery. You see that in blue. And yes, blue can do that with artifacts. But the fact that he can do any one of those, you don't always see those in conjunction with each other. So I kind of really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, who's a good kitty person bird?
So there's some really, nothing against the white cards, but there's some really interesting cards in blue here. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Some definite build around me cards.
So black.
Hey, Mike, it is your turn.
All right, it is my turn. We have another one of these legendary creatures with a hybrid mana in the text box. Kel's Fight Fixer. For 2 black is a legendary Ozra Warlock. Where did the Ozra?
I was just about to ask, what were the Ozra again? Because I don't remember.
I don't.
Battle Bond, right?
Oh,
yes.
I was like, have we seen that before?
Yes, yeah. And I think it was Battle Bond, correct.
Okay. I don't remember anything about their lore whatsoever.
Okay. So yes, an Ozra Warlock, 4/3 for 4, with Menace. Whenever you sacrifice a creature, you may pay a blue-black hybrid. If you do, draw a card.
Seems
and
good.
An activated ability that says pay 1, sacrifice a creature. Kel's Fight Fixer gains indestructible until end of turn.
This reminds me of one of the legendary creatures from Kaladesh. I can't quite put my finger on it, but
Henny?
maybe, yeah. So,
I think Henny got +1/+1 counters when creatures died. Or
right.
was that just when opponents' creatures died? I don't remember.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just felt like this felt a little familiar to me, but
Mhm.
no life loss here. No, you lose a life and draw a card. Just straight up draw a card. You got to pay a little bit, but it's flexible with the blue-black hybrid. So, yeah, I mean, I like it. Can protect itself. Draw you some cards. Don't know what else you want.
Well, then the next one is going to be Nocturnal.
There you go.
I'm getting there. Nocturnal Feeder. For 2 and a black, it's a 2/1 vampire rogue that's common. It has flying. When Nocturnal Feeder dies, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life.
Okay.
And the flavor text says a living pulse is an irresistible temptation.
Okay, that part is true. I mean, nothing.
I mean,
I'm not a vampire. What?
I prefer it for the people around me to have pulses. It always weirds me out when somebody doesn't. So let's just say it's a turn off.
That's what I meant. Totally. Yeah.
I mean, this is fine. It's a little aggressive. It's a 2/1 with flying, and that hurts them even more when it dies. So, yeah, sure,
Yep.
pretty straightforward. Next up is really Tinybones.
Oh God, Brian hasn't seen Tinybones.
No, I haven't seen Tinybones. Okay. So Tinybones, Trinket Thief. It's a skeleton rogue. It's so cute, I think. I'm kind of looking at its head sideways.
His head is coming
skull.
off, yeah.
It's skull, not its
Okay.
head.
Well, I mean
It's
that's
adorable.
it's his skull, but that is his head.
Okay. Well, yeah, because it's a skeleton. It's a legendary skeleton rogue. It's mythic for 1 and a black, and it's a 1/2. At the beginning of each end step, if an opponent discarded a card this turn, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. So that's the draw 1, lose 1 that we talked about before with the fight fixer. But this costs half as much. Do we have an ability to make them discard here? For 4 and 2 black, each opponent with no cards in hand loses 10 life. Okay. Yep. All right, so this guy himself does not have any way to make them drop cards, but he's all about, when you do that, gaining advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact, okay, so they're discarding cards, they're going down in card advantage, and at the same time you're going up. That feels kind of crazy because you're going to be getting pretty far ahead on that. And then just, okay, maybe you've lost some life, but oh, by the way, you have nothing in hand? You're hellbent? Well, lose 10. Jeez.
Also, here you go, Brian. So you can see Tinybones with better art, or bigger art.
Not sure what he's stealing. Something ringed in green fire. But, that's okay.
Looks like
he's stealing that, and he's like burning down the place where he got it from, isn't it?
Like a big shiny necklace.
Yeah.
It looks like a pile of.
Yeah, I think he's stealing a pile of shiny green
pile of jewelry. Yeah.
Amulets or something.
He's even dropped a couple behind him.
And it's totally lighting the caravan or wherever he got it from on fire. Flavor text: big distractions mean tiny nuisances can slip by unnoticed. Okay, so the fire's like a distraction.
So he set it on fire first.
Oh, who's a good skeleton rogue? He's
but
tiny.
Seriously, look, he's adorable.
He's Tinybones. I love it. Okay, great.
The best picture that I saw come from this was a picture of the child from The Mandalorian, commonly known as Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
and just standing there holding whatever thing he was holding when in the shot. And then the next shot is a picture, the same picture with Baby Yoda has this pile of amulets in that hand instead, and the head is tilted all the way over and has come unattached. It's much funnier to see, but I don't know how to search for that. So
That's okay. Next.
next up is the Witch of the Moors.
This is too many hands.
Yeah. Is this the same as the witch with all the baby hands in Throne of Eldraine?
It
Yeah,
definitely has a very Eldraine feel to it.
Mhm.
So.
Uh-huh. So for 3 black, it's a 4/4 human warlock. Interesting. With Death Touch, and at the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn, each opponent sacrifices a creature, and you return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand.
What? Okay, this feels like a somewhat conditional. Not Elish Norn, the
Shieldred?
Shieldred.
I
Where
mean, it's way less powerful, but
it's way less powerful, but it doesn't happen during every person's turn. But at the beginning of your end step, you get a 1-shot where it happens to everybody all at once. What the heck?
I mean, that also just goes to your hand, not to the battlefield. So that's
Oh. I mean, well, let's face it. Of the two, the sacrifice is the slightly more oppressive part anyway. Yes, it's bad when you're getting like a blight steal or something back to the field. I get that, but I don't the continual each opponent sacrifices a creature, that feels kind of rough. Whew. Okay, that's it for black?
Yeah, not every color has the same number of new cards in it, and I'm surprised that the variance is
Yeah. Okay.
this much. But yeah, black only has 4 new cards.
Still a ton of black cards here, just a lot of reprints. All right. So, red then with Mike.
Yes.
Looking all.
First one in red is Chained Brute. For 1 in a red, it's a 4/3 devil. Let's see what we got going on here.
Yeah.
Chained Brute doesn't untap during your untap step. All right. Pay 1, sacrifice another creature, untap Chained Brute. Activate this ability only during your turn.
Well, yeah, because it's a 4/3 for 2 mana.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this looks like a downside, but any kind of this is a sacrifice outlet, so interesting. Big beefy devil. This is not like usually on Innistrad we see like the little devils that are basically like imp sized. This guy is like drinking his Ovaltine in hell. Okay.
Well, the next one is Emulating Gyre. So for 4 and 2 red, it's a mythic sorcery. Emulating Gyre deals X damage to each creature and planeswalker you don't control, where X is the number of instants and sorcery cards in your graveyard.
Whew.
Wow. That
The flavor text is pretty cool. Nice army you have there.
you had there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice army you had there.
Yes. It's
Past
even
tense.
past tense.
Yeah. Wow. Huh.
Yeah, that's kind of nasty.
Yeah. I mean, even at like 3, this is pretty darn good. But this could be much higher than 3 in the right deck with not a whole lot of effort. But I feel like 3 is like the breaking point. 2 is good. I mean, I love me a Pyroclasm, but for 6 mana, I don't know. But once you start getting to 3 or God forbid 4, geez.
But then it's also nailing planeswalkers, and all of your stuff is safe. I like
All
this
your-
card.
All your stuff is safe. And it doesn't exile itself upon resolution, which means, yes, this is a mythic, but it's an instant or sorcery spell. So the next one will be even bigger. And didn't we saw what? We saw a blue guy earlier that casts an instant or sorcery or artifact from your graveyard?
Yeah, the Sphinx.
Yeah. Costs 7, so, if they start to rebuild, you just tear it all down again. All right. Well, so next up we have the Lightning Phoenix. For 2 and a red, it is a 2/2 Phoenix. It has flying and haste. It can't block. At the beginning of your end step, if an opponent was dealt 3 or more damage this turn, you may pay 1 red. If you do, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. So I was curious because sometimes Phoenixes go to the battlefield, sometimes they go to your hand. But if you have lightning bolted somebody, or if someone has taken an amount of damage they would get from a lightning bolt, because it's the Lightning Phoenix, you can pay a red and it jumps right back. I mean, it can't be an eternal blocker because it can't block, but I mean, I like it.
It's also weird. It's got haste, but it comes back at the beginning of your end step.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't think about that.
Like
but
that.
I guess on the
Yeah.
first turn that you play it, you're like,
Yeah,
I guess
it's
that's
just
to make it
after that the haste is kind of silly.
haste is kind of silly.
Yeah, but I guess it's to make it easier to actually get it back. Because if it came back at the beginning of combat, then you have to rely on some non-combat source of damage to get it back onto the battlefield. But here, you can do it with combat damage. It doesn't say, it just says 3 damage. It can be any kind of damage.
And because it's your turn, you will probably be the one dealing the damage. You're less like lucking into somebody else, unless somebody else just picked your turn to hit somebody else. This feels pretty good in any deck with a sacrifice component, because it could probably come back fairly regularly.
I'm still tripped out by the fact that it has haste and comes back at your end step. Like that that's clunky.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder if that's going to cause any misunderstandings. I mean, if you read everything on the card, it tells you what to do, but it does seem a little like, wait. Okay.
Oh, it's just bizarre. Okay.
Next.
Next up is the Lightning Visionary. For 1 and a red, is a 2/1 Minotaur Shaman with prowess. That's it. That's the card.
Cool.
Yay, Minotaur. Next.
Living Lightning.
Whoa, he used to be on the Avengers West Coast.
There's more than one Avenger.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So it's a 3/2 elemental shaman for 3 and a red. And when it dies, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand.
Huh.
Always useful.
Yeah. A 3/2 that they don't really want to kill, so maybe we'll keep hitting them. Seems fine.
Man, he's gotten old since the 90s.
I feel like I should ask what his power was, but I think I can probably tell.
So let me just pull up an image of living lightning real quick, just for anyone. How come these are all of him in human form? Literally, no one cares about him in human form.
He had more than one form.
Well,
One
yeah,
of
he
them
was
was
living
probably-
lightning, so he would turn into living lightning.
Okay.
Was he like the electric gremlin in the second movie?
Sort of, yeah. Wow, I can't find a good Okay, here's a crappy one. Here, we'll just pull that over here. Oh, this is the Living Lightning from Earth 9930. This isn't even from 616. Hang on. Can we get there from here? No, when I click on 616, it doesn't take me there. I don't understand how this website works, but there you go. That's a picture of Living Lightning. Okay, anyway. Keep going. Who's up?
So
Uh, I, that was Mike. So, hey, Dirk, do you have some kind of goblin boss?
yeah. So the next one is Muxus, Goblin Grandee. For 4 and 2 red, he's a 4/4 Goblin Noble that's legendary and is rare. When Muxus Goblin Grandee enters the battlefield, reveal the top 6 cards of your library. Put all Goblin creature cards with converted mana cost 5 or less from among them onto the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Whenever Muxus attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each other goblin you control.
I think he likes goblins.
Now, I saw... Oh, God. It was either Goblin Lore Pod or someone like that tweet that where this was revealed, they had some lore to go with it.
Mhm.
And apparently, all 4 or 5 or however many of them are Muxus. And every day they, like, pick or decide or roll the dice or they take it in
Yeah,
turns
I think
to
they
be
roll
the
dice.
one on the chair, and the others are the ones that carry. And I saw that, and I went, that makes this card way better than it already is, and that makes me happy.
That's awfully democratic for goblins.
That's racist.
I mean,
We don't know what kind of goblins these are. They might be some of the ones that are not just lunatics.
we've seen so many instances of that.
We have. We did a whole episode about all the different goblins. There are a couple that aren't weird.
That is true. They tend to be more of a rarity.
These look a lot like your standard Dominaria Pete Ventures goblins. So
Right. Well, that's enough picking on an entire race. I like how. What's that?
keep going. I thought you were going to move on, and I was going to say wait, but no, you aren't. Keep going.
I was just gonna say. I like how they're at least acknowledging with this, unlike some of the other earlier goblins where they were like, yeah, let's fetch goblins because goblins are dumb. They're at least like, hey, some goblins are super dope, and maybe we should just, limit which goblins you can get.
I don't
Also,
think any
Brian,
of the super
using
dope
the word-
goblins cost more than 5.
True. Did I just use the word dope in 2020?
I think if you look up goblins that cost more than 5, not counting, Mistform Ultimus, Changeling type things, there's only like a handful.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not entirely sure what that's about. In fact, let's do that live right now. Gatherer. Subtype, Goblin. CMC greater than 5. Add, search. Visual spoiler. There are Bog Hoodlums, Goblin Dynamo, Goblin Goliath, Goblin Marshal, Ignition Team, Muxus himself, Ponyback Brigade, and Wart the Raid Mother. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, 8?
7.
7?
Well, 8 with Muxus, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Gloppyrock's got it in the chat, so you can't chain Muxus into Muxus.
But they're legendary.
So?
Oh, because it enters the battlefield.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that makes sense. So you can't pay 6 and luck into a Muxus and do it again.
Yeah, get a Muxus Cascade.
Yeah.
A Muxus Cascade. Is that the name of the episode?
It
But
might
still, like this is
be.
this is a card that I think Legacy players might go after with a straight face, because just in the same way that Goblin Lackey into Siege Gang Commander is no joke, Goblin Lackey into Muxus is also no joke, and Muxus can hit Siege Gang Commander, which is even less of a joke.
That's true. It's not 5 or more. It's just more than 5 are excluded. Siege King Commander is a thing. Wow.
So yeah, people have fun with that.
All right. Let's see. What do we got next? Another legendary creature. This one's a Minotaur, but the art is kind of. Oh, okay. For some reason, where he's looking, the perspective on it, I was like, is that his mouth? No, that's his nose. So I wasn't sure what was going on with the art here. So this is Sethron, Herloon General. For 3 and 2 red, he's a 4/4 legendary Minotaur warrior. Whenever he or another non-token Minotaur enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/3 red Minotaur creature token. So, more Minotaurs.
But he's making, because he's a Herloon General, he's actually making Herloon Minotaurs.
Yeah.
The original face of Magic the Gathering.
True.
And that makes me happy.
For 2 and a black-red hybrid, activated ability, Minotaurs you control get +1/+0 and gain menace and haste until end of turn. At first, I'm reading this, I'm like, well, that's an expensive fire breathing. But then menace, I'm like, oh, wow, that's great. And haste. Which means that your opponent can't really rely on combat math ever again.
Minotaur Tribal. I like this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun.
Right. So, next up, Chewie has a devil.
I do, with tiny little text. Jesus. Spiteful Prankster for 2 and a red is a 3/2 devil. As long as it's your turn. There's a
written on the card.
Shut up. There's a Gnat that's been flying around my office for like 3 days now, and it won't die, but I can never actually kill it. And it just flew like right next to my mouth. Okay, sorry. As long as it's your turn, Spiteful Prankster has first strike. 3/2 with first strike for 3 isn't bad. And whenever another creature dies, Spiteful Prankster deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. Note it does not say another creature you control. It just says another creature.
Oh, any other creature dies. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
For some reason, the first time I read this, I thought that was just when Spiteful Prankster died. And I'm like, okay, well, that's all right, I guess.
There are many things
that's a lot better.
this card doesn't say.
Wow. Yeah, this is impressive for an uncommon. This is quite impressive. Okay.
Yeah, I like him.
This next one has really kind of rad art too.
Yeah.
I could see this painted on the side of a van.
Yeah.
It's a pretty whacked out card as well. So, Zerzoth Chaos Rider is a legendary devil, a 2/3 for 2 and a red. Whenever an opponent draws their first card each turn, if it's not their turn, you create a 1/1 red devil creature token with, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. So if any of your opponents are drawing cards when it's not their turn, you get devils. Whenever 1 or more devils you control attack 1 or more players, you and those players each draw a card, then discard a card at random.
This guy is metal as hell. which is, he's a devil. But forget the van. This guy is like on a tattooed on somebody's bicep somewhere.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah, you don't even have to hit with. You just have to attack with the devils. You don't have to hit anybody to get that effect.
Right. And you get devils for free.
Yeah.
So many things I hope I say in this episode that I hope never come back to bite me later. This is why I can never run for office. Brian Baker says that you get devils for free. I'll see there's a devil in every household, in every pot.
Remember
No.
that time Brian Baker said "hard on"?
America knows.
Oh,
America
Lord.
remembers.
All right, Green.
Green.
So,
Hey, Dirk, you're up.
yeah,
Oh, look at the name of this card.
Allosaurus Shepherd.
That's amazing.
hmm So for 1 green, it's a 1/1 mythic elf shaman. Allosaurus Shepherd can't be countered. Green spells you control can't be countered.
Don't do it. Can't do it.
For 4 and 2 green, until end of turn, each elf creature you control has base power and toughness 5/5 and becomes a dinosaur in addition to its other creature types.
So I'm confused what's happening here from a flavor perspective. I get the card, but
All
she's
elves
Allosaurus
start riding dinosaurs.
Oh, okay. They all hop on a dinosaur. I'm like, are the elves secretly dinosaurs? Is this like a Transformers thing where it's like,
Oh,
all
I
right,
see.
time to roll out,
Because in addition to their other creature types, so they're elf dinosaurs or elf warrior dinosaurs or stuff like that.
All right, see, I guess I get that. I was just confused, and I just kind of pictured kind of like a gross, like, all right, the elves are all now dinosaurs, like, psh. But then at the end of the turn, they're elves again, so they kind of like fold up their elf clothes neatly and put them back on again later. They're like, just an elf here. But no, they're all riding dinosaurs, so I get that.
I mean, I kind of like thinking that it's the shepherd is. Anybody remember Willow?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
When Beth Morta's like, pigs! You're all pigs! Except the shepherd is going, all right, you're all dinosaurs! And then they all go, "Ah!" And then they just charge forward like in the raptors in the crappy Jurassic World. Was it Kingdom? Jurassic...
Fallen Kingdom?
No, the one before that. The first one with Chris Pratt.
Jurassic
World.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. You know, he's riding along. So the Allosaurus rider is riding along on a motorcycle, and all these elf Allosaurus are running next to him. But it's probably the riding thing. That makes more sense. But mine is funnier, so it's a draw. All right, Brian, what you got?
What do I have? I have branching evolution. For 2 in the green, it is a rare enchantment. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be put on a creature you control, twice that many +1/+1 counters are put on that creature instead. So it's the safe version of doubling season.
Yeah.
Because you don't get extra tokens and you don't get extra loyalty counters or even like charge counters, anything like that. It's +1/+1 counters, which are still one of the most, if not the most common form of counters. So yeah, I like it. I mean, you know what you should do with this? Play them with cards that give you +1/+1 counters. I mean, yeah. Hydras go nuts. Apocalypse Hydra is like, yeah, I'll win the next tournament even harder. So I'm not trying to sound like I don't like this card. I think it's great. It's just, I think we all get what it does.
The thing.
Yep. So next.
Next is... How the hell do you say that? Naeth?
Glad it's you, not me.
Naeth of the Dire Hunt for 2 green. Naeth is a 3/3 legendary human warrior. Whenever one or more creatures you control fight or become blocked, draw a card. One or more creatures you control fight or become blocked. So if you cast a fight spell before combat, you'll draw a card. And then later, if you attack, like later the same turn, if you attack and something's blocked, you draw a card.
Yes.
It's not like you draw a card for each thing that's blocked. It's just, hey, was something blocked? Draw a card. Right?
Correct.
Because it says one or more. Yes, okay. But that's not all. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 2 and a red-green hybrid. If you do, double target creature's power until end of turn. That creature must be blocked this combat if able. Ooh.
I like the green, like, acknowledgement of, like, hey, fighting is something that this creature does. It's almost combat damage, but not quite. But I kind of like that in the first ability, just from a flavor perspective. So
Yeah. Anytime your creatures smash into something else.
basically, yeah.
Plus, I'm digging that the art here looks sort of what does she look like? Horizon Zero Dawn, but without the red hair.
I was thinking of Princess Mononoke.
See, I never saw Princess Mononoke, so that wouldn't enter into my head. Although, wasn't there a bloody big ass white wolf?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ah, okay, that would explain that then. Yeah. I'm just saying, I could see Naeth of the Dire Hunt using a bow and arrow to take down giant robot predators, is all I'm saying. Okay. I like this card. Next.
Cool. Towering Titan.
Bring it to 2 mythics.
Yeah. And put only 4 new cards. Oh. So Towering Titan is for 4 and 2 green. It's a mythic giant. That's a 0/0. But it enters the battlefield. It enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the total toughness of other creatures you control. And you can sacrifice a creature with Defender. All creatures gain trample until end of turn.
She's picking up a wall and beating it, using it to beat something else to death.
Yes.
The flavor text.
Knock, knock.
I don't think you want to tell her who's there. I think she knows who's there. It's a trap. So, I guess this would probably be found in the Walls deck because high toughness and the whole, sack a creature with Defender. But I do like that, you could run her in a bunch of decks that either have a couple Defenders incidentally or don't even bother with that part and,
Yeah, now I have a 15/15 for 6. It's like, hooray.
Doran the Siege Tower says hello. I mean, really, it's X +1/+1 counters on it, so her power and toughness in most situations are going to be equal anyway, but why not?
Plus, she looks like she really enjoys what she does.
Yes.
And that's what's important. At least that's what I hear.
I think ripping up encampments or entrenchments and using them to beat down on other people totally brings a smile to her face.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Multicolored has no new cards. That's neat.
Okay.
Artifact
least
has
I don't-
1.
Artifact has 1.
Yeah, all the new cards are at the front of each section. Because the
Okay.
way the numbering is.
All right, so the artifact one is Lightning Core Excavator. Yeah,
Excavator.
Lightning Core Excavator. For one, it's a 0/3. That is a common golem. Sorry. For 5 and tap, sacrifice Lightning Core Excavator. It deals 3 damage to any target.
Look at the flavor text.
The flavor text says, "That's the 3rd time this month it's exploded on site. Maybe we should switch to something a little less defective."
Maybe.
Current archaeologist.
Also, I saw someone tweet that this was Robo from Chrono Trigger, and now I can't see anything other than Robo from Chrono Trigger standing there.
Yeah, it's the crummy, expensive direct damage artifact that shows up in sets here and there, except it's a 0/3 creature, so that's a lot more useful than your usual crummy, expensive direct damage artifact.
It's true. So that's it until we get to the lands, and there are 5 lands that are all the same idea.
Yep.
And they're called Thriving. So there's Thriving Bluff, Grove, Heath, not Hearth. I've been playing Hearthstone. Bluff, Grove, Heath, Isle, and Moor. And they enter the battlefield tapped. As they enter the battlefield, you choose a color other than the main one. And you can tap them for their color or 1 mana of the chosen color. So they're make your own common dual lands.
Yeah.
Which is pretty neat.
Yeah, I like those.
I like it. Yeah. Obviously, they're always going to come in tapped, so that's a thing. But I really like that. They're going to slot into so many decks.
Yeah.
And you either run them in 2-color decks, and you're always going to pick exactly the same thing, or in 3 or more color decks, it's going to be situation dependent, and you're going to be like, you know what, I haven't seen a forest this time. So I draw my Thriving Moor, and I'm like, I name green. I'm good. I'm set. So, yeah.
Plus, I love the working of the rainbow colors into the art on all of these.
Yeah, that's neat. I hadn't really noticed that until now. So
yeah, the Thriving Bluff has multicolored striations in the mountain. The Thriving Grove just has multicolored plants and birds and everything. Thriving Heath has multicolored, I guess, wheat?
Flowers.
Flowers?
I don't know.
Yeah. The Thriving Isle has crazy purple water. Really not much in the way of like super multicolor. But the Thriving Moor is what made me realize this. It's got multicolored water, sort of like that sheen that gasoline has when there's a puddle of it.
Yeah.
Just in all the water in the picture. So we also have to talk about the basic lands. Because the art on these is unreal.
They're really nice.
And I think there's different basic lands for each type.
Yes.
Or each deck. So like there's a Soldier Plains. I don't know what the Doctor Plane. Oh, they have the name right under it. Legion Plains. Okay, the Doctor Plains is just amazing. I want that as like my phone background forever. Look at that.
That's pretty awesome.
But most importantly, there's Dog Plains.
I do like the Dog Plains, and that's been like a thumbnail on the website for a long time, and I was like, I like it. I feel like the heavily armed planes, which
is just amazing. Look at that.
Look at that perspective. That's just awesome. I'm also terribly afraid if a plane comes knocking at my door and it's heavily armed, but that's a separate issue. But the art perspective on that is awesome.
Yeah, this is like a shield with the reflection of a plane's in it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. That's for you people listening in audio form. It's just amazing. I highly recommend you open up the card image gallery, links in the show notes, and go look at the basic land art.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at this archaeology island. What? That's beautiful. And the milling island right next to it actually makes my head hurt because it's... Oh, God. I just realized what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
It's a mill. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's an abstract of a head where the top has been sliced off and there's a giant millstone going around oh my God.
Even the big stone head is a call out to one of the more recent, maybe not recent, but one of the different arts for millstone that came down through the years, right?
I think so, yeah. That's what my first thought was, the older image of millstone. So, Well-Read Island
Yup.
is kind of nifty in a really weird kind of like, that island is so well read, and you can tell because of all the books. So, look at Minion's Swamp.
Oh, that's not creepy at all. I was just looking at the reanimated swamp and shuddering slightly.
All of the swamps are gonna be a little. I mean, the Rogue Swamp I think is okay.
Look at the Phyrexian swamp. But don't just look at the art.
No, look at the
The
text.
flavor text or the
I feel like if I finish,
text.
I feel like I've finished reading that type line, I'm actually going to be consigning my soul to somewhere bad, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to keep moving.
Yeah, it's written
Witchcraft.
in the Phyrexian script that we've seen on like the promo. Was it Elish Norn?
Yeah.
Vampire Swamp is, again, it's okay. Castles is cool, but I might like the art on the Spooky Swamp. That's totally Innistrad.
Yeah. Plus, the Witchcraft Swamp actually makes me want to go home and cry. Oh, look, I am home.
Go cry. We'll wait here.
The Devilish Mountain is amazing.
Yeah.
The Goblin's Mountain, like, really zoom in on that. That mountain in the foreground is literally made of goblins piled on top of each other.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think I'm probably partial to Lightning Mountain myself, but not as a vacation
Whoa!
spot.
I have not seen that one. That's amazing. Spellcasting Mountain is also... Good lord, these are all nuts!
Yeah.
Unfortunately, every deck has what? Literally one
Like
of
6
these?
or 7?
Oh, okay. I thought... Okay.
I assume that that's just what the basic lands are in each of the theme decks.
Okay. That makes me feel better. Maybe one of them is given that special treatment. You know the treatment I'm talking about, right?
No?
Go to the Jumpstart card list, click, and on any one, hover over the basic land.
Okay, so that's not everything is in Gatherer yet. Like that's why some of the card lists have cards in that other category that don't actually toss anything up. So they're just pulling like the most recent art entered into Gatherer for that card. So that's why, for example, the island is showing the M21 special frame island. And
Okay, is that what's going on? All right. I thought maybe some of them were getting a special treatment or something like that. Okay.
No.
no, that's just a quirk of how Gatherer works for cards that, yeah, for the most recent cards.
Shaking my hand at Gatherer and at myself a little bit. So, okay, back to the good stuff. Didn't think there'd be that much interesting to look at for the basic lands, but
I didn't realize there were this many. I've seen some of these arts pop up on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. Mm-hmm. I did not realize every deck got one until we were looking at these. Like, the +1 forest? What is going on there?
Okay, so every single one of these is an amazing piece of art that I could never hope to duplicate. I don't know that the forests are blowing me as away as some of the others. My favorite is probably, I feel weird saying this, the Lands Forest.
Wait, where's that? Ah.
Just
That is pretty cool.
it's not the art I think is great. It's just lands, forest.
But dude, the dinosaur's forest has what looks like it could be a Styracosaurus. No, that's not a. What is that called? With the big ass frill. Damn it. Styracosaurus was the one that had the spikes on the frill. I can't remember which one.
Styracosaurus had just a big frill. I mean, Triceratops, Protoceratops.
No, those all had smaller frill. There's one in particular that's got the big ass frill, but it's not coming to me which one that is. I do like the Walls Forest. That's pretty funny. And the Predatory Forest has a cute little deer that's gonna get eaten by giant Venus flytraps. Yeah. Yeah, this is a really neat touch to add into these. Plus, the lands, of course, sort of like the unsets, the lands are going to add like a chase perspective, chase value to them, because people are going to need, 25 of the whichever island for their whichever deck,
Yeah. If this is a way if for people that they're like, I'm not really interested in this product, for Wizards to be like, oh, you'll buy it. We know you'll buy it. And you're like, what do you mean? And they're like, lands. And you're like, no, but give me 5 cases. Lands.
New art for Phyrexian Tower. That's pretty nifty.
Oh, is it new art?
Mm-hmm.
I guess Phyrexian Tower has only got the one printing, doesn't it? Or
Yeah,
the one
as
art,
far-
anyway.
As far as I'm aware.
Yeah, and Terramorphic Expanse got new art, too, but
Is that new art?
I think
thought
so. Because I saw Gavin talking about, hey, look, we got new art made.
Okay. He would know. I thought that I had seen it before, but
Oh, this Phyrexian Tower art was also in Ultimate Masters.
Also in what?
Ultimate Masters,
Ah, okay.
otherwise known as Graveyard Masters.
Yeah. Ah, that makes sense. All right. Well, there you go. That was the new stuff in Jumpstart.
neat.
It definitely neat. I've seen a lot of people asking, "Who's this product for?" And like, you could literally ask that about every Magic thing that WotC produces. Like, that is a dumb question by and large.
I feel like I said early on, wow, this really appeals to me. But
yeah, like this product is for anyone who likes this sort of thing. Like, you're smashing up 2 pre-built random things to see what you can get. Like, it's for people who like sealed, or who like sealed but not really.
I mean, if you read some of the articles they put out, this actually came about when they were looking at, what are products we want to explore. And somebody mentioned, I love to draft, but I don't always want to sit down and make essentially 40 decisions in a row. What if I made less decisions and still drafted something? And here, it's similar, where you're basically like picking 2 boosters that have been drafted for you and putting them together. So this actually came about as almost a different way to draft. Still fits into the sealed limited perspective in general, but I thought that was an interesting perspective. So
Yeah. It's for people who like that sort of thing but don't have time necessarily to like build a deck. Like, if you like the feeling of sealed, but you don't like building the deck itself, then this is awesome. Stark pointed out it's totally a thing that casual players can enjoy, because you just buy 2 packs, smash them together, play some games, boom, done.
Yeah.
next, yep.
Yeah, it's
And then when you're done with them, you take them apart and use the cards for other things. Because how many of these cards did we just say, yeah, this seems really cool, it's building around? That's not including any of the reprints. because we don't have time for that nonsense. But there's some pretty crazy stuff in here too, like literally the one we mentioned, Phyrexian Tower. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Plus, they've got the land. I mean, this is obviously for commander players too. There's a whole lot of legendary creatures that do stuff that isn't just when your opponent thing draw card, draw card.
Right.
How does it Stark put it? Whenever you draw a card, draw a card.
yeah,
Like, has been so many of their legendary designs in the last few years.
yeah. Or while some of them have a tribal feel to them, when you play creatures of this spell or this type, A, draw a card, B, they get +1/+1, you know, or both. There's actually different stuff going on here.
Yeah, like the Minotaur legendary makes other Minotaurs and pumps all your Minotaurs. That's amazing. Like the unicorn, well, I guess, yeah, the Blessed Sanctuary is the unicorn thing, sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
And Emiel the Blessed also, to a lesser extent.
Yeah.
Like, there's just lots of neat stuff in here.
The devil guy is like get devils but also mess around with people's hands, make them discard cards at random. That's pretty crazy. But you too, like what? But that's exactly what a devil would do. Everybody go crazy and light stuff on fire. Woo!
Yeah. So, like, I think the question of who's this for is always, unless they do something just out there, is always kind of a dumb question. Because it's usually pretty obvious who something's for. Like, does it cost, $300 for a box? Well, then it's for the whales. Does it have neat cards that do stuff that aren't standard legal? Well, then it's clearly for commander players. Like,
These are not hard concepts.
yeah. But now, do I think that all of these cards needed to be printed in this type of set? No, because honestly, I'm so sick of WotC cramming new products. We've been saying this for literally years, and it's just been getting worse. They cram so many products into the year now that it's just ridiculous. And you have to specialize these days. Before, we could buy cards from the new set and then put them in our commander decks and be like, yay. But that's not how it works anymore. So, like, all of these cards could have easily just been dropped into Commander or some other summer thing that they were already going to do that wasn't yet another product. But I think this one, having looked at it and gotten a feel for how it works, I think this is one of the less egregious things that they've done, because this is actually neat.
Agreed.
Just the concept of it by itself is like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I
throwing in the basic lands is a dirty trick to drive up the demand, but they're really pretty. But it's still a dirty trick that's literally there just to drive up the demand. But we got awesome new art that hopefully the artists will and have tweeted so that we can, put them on our phones. That's my take on it anyway.
Yep. I would probably agree with you as well. And I'm not a big
variety. With all the variety, it's a lot more exciting than that 2-player quick start thing that they tried to do years and years ago that didn't really take off.
Oh yeah. And there's a reason that we're just going, oh yeah, about that right now. Because yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
There you
All
go.
right, then.
Hopefully at some point we will be far enough removed from this crazy dystopian reality that is right now,
Reality. Yeah.
and be able to physically get together and maybe do a game or two of this. Hope that was when we were getting ready for this episode. I told Chewy that was my one concern, is that this looks great, and I just hope that I'm not priced out of it, because I don't want to spend a mint on getting a couple packs, you know. So, but they don't put out an MSRP anymore, so who knows?
Yeah. These. What did we come up with? These are $6-8 a pack or something like that. Is that what we came up with?
That sounds
They're
about right.
Amazon.
What was that, Dirk? They're how much?
They're comparable on Amazon to, I guess, regular packs.
I mean, regular packs are still $4. It seems like these were more than that, but maybe not. I can't remember because I sort of looked something up quickly while I think I was talking to Brian.
Yeah, I think I was just like, I wonder about this, and he's like, hold on, but we didn't really do any research. So
Let's see.
that's my only fear, is that with all the stuff that they've packed into these, is the average person going to be priced out?
Okay, they're not.
That was a cool startup sound. Has somebody been revving the dark?
Well, I'm looking at it as I compare with Amazon, for whatever reason, has been really like pricing things really high. New from 150, free shipping.
For a box?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait, how much was that?
150.
That was a little higher than what Chewy found, because Chewy found like 119 for a box or something.
Well, that's what I thought before, is that there was about 119, but I'm looking at Amazon right now, and it's...
Well, 150 for a box still comes to $6.25 a pack, which seems perfectly fine. But anyway, right? How about we talk about, do we wrap the show up?
Yes.
That thing that we do. So,
Right.
final thoughts, dorks.
You can go first, Brian.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Dark. I guess for my final thought, really interesting concept for this product. Really curious to try it at some point. Mash some stuff together and see, do I get demonic kitties or, something else. Definitely want to go in blind without the like, well, what did you get? Well, let's switch. Really want to have an authentic experience with it. As far as real life, looks like I'm going to have more work next week, and that is both a plus because, I need to be able to do my job, not only for myself, but for the people I represent. But also, I'm kind of anxious about it. So, yay? Question mark. I guess, assuming I'm able to record next week, which I don't know that I wouldn't be, I'll have more to say about, how great everything was, or how this is all a terrible mistake. Probably somewhere in the middle. So, I hope sincerely that everyone out there is being healthy, being safe, taking care of themselves, and able to look on the bright side of life if that's possible. And with that, I didn't get much sleep at all last night. I for whatever reason, couldn't fall asleep until after midnight. I'm honestly impressed that I'm still as awake as I am. I'm going to go now before I fall asleep on my keyboard. You gentlemen, have a good night and all that good stuff.
Night, B.
All right. Final thoughts for me.
Dirk sounds like he was about to fall asleep with his head on the keyboard right then. No dying.
Yeah. Just like Brian a little bit, I haven't been able to sleep well. My issue is that I don't know if I mentioned this before, but talking to my folks, it sounds like I'm probably suffering from a bit of sleep apnea. And because I'm a light sleeper, it doesn't like I just have problems going to sleep, and so it's been a bit of a pain. And I've also had some sort of sinus drainage right into my chest, and so I've been I've been muting myself quite a bit this whole episode to so that way no one has to listen to me hack and cough.
We appreciate that.
I know. So it's one of those wonderful things. And the worst part is that while I'm up and about, like stand up, walking, even sitting in a chair, like sitting at the computer, um, I maybe have to cough a little bit, but nothing major. But as soon as I start inclining, like reclining back and, you know, like going to bed and things like that, it's like all of it slides right um, up in my chest. And so my natural inclination is to cough. I have coughed so hard that I have been lightheaded. I have coughed so hard, um, like you'd have like those coughing fits where you would get like lightheaded because you cough so much. Um, it's been a massive pain in the butt, and I've had it for about a month now, and it sucks. So the fun joys.
Yay.
And I don't think it's COVID or anything like that because, again, I've had it for a month. And I've never lost taste and I've never developed a fever. I've also kept away from people.
Well, that's good.
Much to my natural inclination of, I want to go talk to people.
I mean, you can talk to people. Just stay the hell over there.
I know. But the problem is like all the kids want, wanting Trevor to come out and play and Leighton to come out and play, and it's like, no. And then you feel bad.
Yeah.
Like
It's rough.
I'm not trying to be the mean daddy.
At least you don't have this. I saw some friends, or a friend of mine posting something similar somewhere that said, he's being very strict and very careful with his daughter, but his ex isn't. The ex is just letting the kid do what the hell ever, so he's the bad guy, even though he's the good guy in this scenario. And it's just awful. Basically, what I'm saying is everything is awful all the time.
Yeah.
Because that's what 2020 is. But we're going to muddle through. Damn it.
Yeah. So that's my bit of news and final thoughts and everything. And with that, I am going to bed.
Well, get some sleep if you can, my friend.
I'm going to try. I make no guarantees, though. So,
Hurry up.
night, everybody.
Night, sir. All right, Mike.
All right. Oh boy. What a week it's been. I'm glad that I ended work at a normal time today rather than a aberrant time like all the other days so far this week.
Ugh.
It was just a confluence of too many things going on at once and a bunch of people getting used to a new team structure, and it was just a mess out there this week. But yeah, I think it's like today was still a lot of work, but it all mostly fit inside the normal work day, and looks like tomorrow is going to be similar, so I'm looking forward for that. I was actually thinking, like, considering about, I don't know, I was considering about risking a haircut sometime this week, but I haven't actually been able to leave the apartment. And with all the other news going on about how bad it is in North Carolina, I don't know if I want to anyway. So I'm going to exercise my freedom to grow my hair out and only have my mom give me crap about it.
Yeah. I keep looking in the mirror and going, because I usually don't get a haircut but every, I don't know, 3 months anyway, just because I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep looking in the mirror and going, damn. It's almost getting to the point where I would be going to get a haircut just whenever I thought about it and had some time, but with things getting worse and worse and worse, like, hey, by the way, for those that didn't know, this is being recorded on the 25th of June, and I think yesterday the U.S. set a record number of cases in a single day, which means tomorrow we'll probably break that record, just because that's how this sort of thing works.
Yeah.
And yeah, all of that, hey, yay, things are getting slightly better, let's open up. And then no, they're not at all. Things are actually getting much, much worse.
Yeah. There are travel restrictions in place inside the United States. Like, I think New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut are restricting travel from certain states that, well, I know that New York and New Jersey are. What I can't remember is what the third one is. Like, there was an official email from the big boss. There was an official work email from the big boss today about how, North Carolina is on the list of states where we can't go to these places. So business trips from North Carolina to those places canceled, because we would have to quarantine for 14 days once we get there, which means we'd be completely useless once we get there.
Yep. Yeah. And the lovely federal government is just pretending like nothing's wrong. It's awesome here in this country. We are, in fact, number one when it comes to how bad we have COVID. Yay. Gotta love it. Question mark. Anyway. So, yeah, hey. For me, I got nothing. I just, I just deliver food to people and wear my little mask and play my little piano and sing my little song. I am who I am. By the way, if you order delivery through DoorDash or something similar, tip your driver. Because otherwise, it wasn't worth their time to bring you their food, and the only reason they did is because they were hoping you would have, like, paper money tip for them, or that you've added it in later. But I had, of the, I think, 6 deliveries that I had today, 2 of them had 0 tip. So that was fun. It's like, thanks for making me drive my ass all the way out here for $3. Yeah, this was totally worth it. I kind of hope that you stub your toe and you take your food in. So, yeah. We're not doing this crap because we like it. We're doing this crap because we got bills to pay. There's one person doing it because they like it, but you know what? Screw that guy.
He was always kind of odd anyway.
Right? So, yeah, I'm just saying. Tip your delivery people. And if you can't afford to tip your delivery person, then you can't afford to order food. Okay? Okay. Now, if you have, there's always corner cases. Obviously, I'm not talking to you specifically, because I know someone right now is going, hey, I have this little bit of money and I don't have food because I can't go to the... Shut up, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people that can afford it and aren't, okay? There. Jesus Christ. Calm down. Someone's always got to well actually me when I say this. But what if no, not them? My personal favorite is when it's a giant ass order. Because I see how much they paid for the food. But if it's like, if you just ordered like $50 of food and you give me a $2 tip, I really want to hurt you. Physically and emotionally. Like, I want to dredge up some crap from your childhood. Anyway, but I'm also a terrible person, so maybe don't listen to me. And Stark said, but Joey, what if I just don't want to? Well, then you suck. That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point here. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I do stuff over on the YouTube channel. Ow, my elbow. We've got, well, right now, Shadowgate and Link to the Past have been paused because, honestly, because I ran out of footage. I'm out. And I didn't stream yesterday because there was a Twitch blackout in an effort to try to get people at Twitch to take some action because lots of sexual harassment and abuse and whatnot have come out about Twitch itself, and Twitch has been like, we're gonna do better, and that's all they did. And so there was a admittedly hastily organized Twitch blackout on Wednesday, and a lot of people decided to stream anyway and covered up with, well, I'm gonna do a fundraiser for some charity, but like Kibler did that, and I'm like, I still think that was the wrong choice, man. You could do your fundraiser on Thursday. But whatever, to each his own. There were a lot of people that decided to stream because it was the arena pre-release or early access thing for streamers and whatnot. And they're like, I want to play with the new cards. Just whatever. I maintain that I have the moral high ground here for not streaming. Because my feeling is, if there's any reason I'm not going to stream, and I have lots of reasons to not stream, including, I don't want to, then I'm pretty sure, trying to get Twitch to pay attention and do something about its own crappy actions is probably a better reason to stream than, I don't feel like it. But anyway, that's why I don't have more stuff going up. But right now, what is going up on YouTube is the Trial by Fellfire solo adventure from Hearthstone. That came out sometime this week, I think. And I finally got to it and streamed it all in one go. So I have all of that. It'll be 4 videos. So yay! And then I will finish sometime, probably Sunday, I guess. I'll stream either Link to the Past or Shadowgate and try to either finish or at least get more footage of those, because I really want to finish those so I can play something else. Stupid Shadowgate with a stupid Banshee, a stupid curse, and a hater. And a hater! Ah! Hang on, I got one more. Hate! Okay. But anyway, yeah. So, hey, yeah, I have a lot of feels right now. Can you tell? Like, there was a case in Texas of, like, a big group of people that all got together for, like, a giant birthday party. And, like, some stupid number of them now have COVID. Because, of course, they do. Including some older people who are at a higher risk and whatnot, because of course they do, because people are stupid. And I saw a tweet from someone I followed today that said, that was a retweet of that story with, I have not touched another human being besides my husband in 4 months. And I thought about that and I went, I have not touched another human being, period, in 4 months, not even her husband. Mm-hmm. And in case you wonder why sometimes I lose it when it comes to stuff like this, it's because it's getting worse because people are stupid, And I'm getting punished for it for doing things right. Like, I'm terrified to go see my parents. I can't see my friends. I want to, hang out with somebody at some point, but I can't because it's not safe because I deliver food to people to pay the bills, which means I'm a potential disease vector and I don't want to infect them. So I keep my ass here. And yet people are out wandering around without masks, gathering for birthday parties. And when they all get sick, they're like, I don't understand. And I hate them. Worse than the Banshee. Wear a mask. Stay home. This is not hard. If everyone wore a mask like they should, things would not be as bad as they are now. That is literally the least you can do. And some people just can't. And it makes me so angry. Anyway, I didn't mean to get all angry and emotional here at the end of the show, but it happens. At least last night we got to kill zombies, damn it.
Good.
We played Killing Floor 2, me and Cap and Haley and Bill, and we killed lots of zombies. It was amazing. By the way, play Killing Floor 2 with friends if you have access to it. It's amazing. Okay, right. So, I do just a ridiculous amount of content for one person. We've got the 2 podcasts most weeks. We've got 1 YouTube video every day and streams throughout the week, including the watch party on Saturday if you have Amazon Prime. And you're anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter if you're in the US anymore. Yes. We do the TMP watch party this week. For those of you that are live, let me go check my Twitter poll because I think it's over now or close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Once I find the profile button. There's 1 hour left, but yeah, it's got half the votes. So we're watching Double Dragon, the movie, God help us all, and Bloodsport, the one with Jean-Claude Van Damme. So we're watching 1 bad action movie and then 1 insanely cheesy action movie. That's what won the poll. Sometimes I wonder about the people that want to watch parties with us, but whatever. So yay, but that's what we do every Saturday. We try to watch, here lately it's been 2 movies that are somehow related. Last week we watched the original The Pink Panther and then Knives Out. The original Pink Panther kind of sucks. Knives Out was amazing. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. But anyway. So that's just what we do here on the Mana Pool. There's streams throughout the week. Tuesdays are my night off. And sometimes Sunday. This week I took Wednesday off due to the blackout. So I'll probably stream on Sunday to get footage for videos that I need to put up after that. So yeah, I'll definitely stream on Sunday. But okay, so that's a whole lot of content for just little old me to do. And so yeah, if you want to help support what I do and allow me to keep doing it, then go to patreon.com/themanapool and sign up to be a lifeguard. And you can get early access to YouTube videos and to Manapool episodes. You get the odds and ends. Another one went up today, actually. Managed to get an odds and ends up. That felt pretty good. And the sponsorship shout out on both podcasts and on the end screen for all the YouTube videos. So I'd like to thank the Mythic Lifeguards for quite possibly the last time in this order, because the page that I get this order off of is going away because Patreon can't just leave stuff alone. So let's enjoy it. Jason Doan, Kim Ho, Andrew Hunt, Al, Lance Delicious, Team Hellas Connor Kennedy, John Morris, Alex Gonzalez, Scuzzo, Jeff Spencer, Stuart Slaw, PJ McMullen, Casey, Danny Liao, Cody Buckowing, Jake Jansons, Jason Kaus, John Parker, Aleph Cat, Mike the Beardy Man, Backwards Logic, ALK Alters, and the Beastfather, Aaron Goodwine. It's going to be weird to not have him at the end. Nah. Like, he's already not at the end now, but I just move him down. He's only 2 from the end. But anyway, yay! So this has been the Manipool number 594, along with so we got Jumpstart, and then we have lots of angriness at the end. But that's because I hate people, because people are awful. Yay!
Or boo, rather.
Or boo, rather, whatever. Granted, this is not new for me. I have hated people because people are awful for most of my life.
Yeah.
But when they're so blatantly and, like, purposefully awful, damn it. But anyway, so yeah, I'm a go now. So thank you all so very much for joining us. Wear a mask and go play some Magic.